There are a lot of really interesting video game accessories for Xbox, for Nintendo, for PlayStation, for really any system. But one accessory that I've bought over and over again, it's something that I find is not really all that popular despite how actually very useful it is the Xbox Chatpad. Now, this is an actual Microsoft product, so I know third parties do make things like this, but Microsoft made this specifically for their controller. They made a version for the Xbox 360, which I also owned, which was incredibly useful. And then I bought this one, which uses the same little adapter in the bottom of the controller that the Xbox One and Series X controllers have. Now, I understand Microsoft not making a new one of these for the Series X, considering it's the same adapter, basically the same shape controller, and this actually does connect to the bottom of a Series X controller just fine. But I actually don't hear too much about people using these chat pads. I use this all the time. Anytime a game prompts me to enter a name for a character, or anytime an app needs me to log in and I need to enter a username and password like an email address, I can just use the chat pad instead of having to use the stupid on-screen menu. And don't get me wrong, the on-screen keyboard that pops up, it is for what it is, it's fine. It does the job. But the chat pad's so much faster. You can get to all these different symbols so much quicker, and I don't think I personally could live without it. And again, it's really weird that I don't see this more popularly used. And like I was saying before, it simply just connects directly to the bottom of the Xbox controller. It plugs in exactly like any other accessory. It just sits right at the bottom, and you still have the 3.5mm headphone jack if you want to plug in like a headset or like headphones or anything like that and use that as your microphone. But this thing is awesome. It actually served a lot of purposes. The side buttons here, they're kind of labeled X1 and X2 next to the spacebar. They were used for specific functions. So the X1 button, when you pressed it, it would take a screenshot. And when you press the X2 button, it would record a 30-second clip. Now, if you remember on the Xbox One, that was originally handled with voice commands because they were really heavily leaning on the Kinect. Then it was eventually moved over to like a weird menu system where you kind of like pressed or held down the Xbox button and then used like a button combination to take a screenshot. It was really just kind of messy. Now I know the Series X controller has that share button in the middle where you can do the same thing. You press it once, it takes a screenshot, hold it down for a couple seconds, and then it takes a 30-second recording. Before that button, it was much harder to do those things, and this chat pad made that easier. And now that I have the share button, I use that instead. But I can't believe that this chat pad isn't more popular. Now I know there's probably a small handful of games that require you to actually type something in these days, but when you do need that functionality, the chat pad's awesome. I highly recommend it. They still sell it. I don't know if they still make it. They definitely don't make a Series X specific one. It still connects to the bottom, even though the shape is a little bit different. And third parties also make their own versions of it that's basically the same thing. But, I love this thing. And if you think that a chat pad functionality, might help you out in any way, I highly recommend it. I think it's like $25. I'll have an Amazon link below if you want to purchase it. And I think it's really awesome. Now, if you want to hear more about obscure accessories that actually are really awesome, you can go ahead and click on my face right here and you can subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.